Travel crew, Abe here, reporting live from the edge of the known world. Woo! I stand at the precipice of the Last Outpost, my floating lens capturing the desolate, sun-baked panorama. The air here is a furnace blast, thick with red dust and the scent of scorched earth. Skeletal remains of ancient structures claw at the twin hazy suns above. Beside me, Corbin, ever the vanguard, attempts to crunch on a shard of what looks like petrified cactus. His stoic face betrays no immediate reaction beyond a slight, almost imperceptible tremor. A data point I quickly log about this biome's initial lethality. My recipe notes for desert rose salt promise to negate thirst for a full week. I need to purify these crystalline formations clinging to the rock face, each one a delicate rose-like cluster. The raw crystals smell like dry dust and something metallic, almost like old blood. I carefully chip a few into my purification bowl, the ceramic cool against my gloved fingers. With a mortar and pestle, I begin to grind them down, watching the coarse grains turn to a fine shimmering powder. The metallic tang intensifies, now mixed with a strange sweet floral note. Ooh, like a desert bloom fighting for life. I pinch a tiny amount, hesitant for a moment. My cursed taste blindness means I rely entirely on smell and texture. This salt should be a game changer. I bring the powder to my nose, inhaling deeply. The floral sweetness explodes, overwhelming everything. Then a sudden sharp pain lances through my sinuses, a burning dryness that feels like my throat is closing. My tongue feels like sandpaper, every cell screaming for water. The salt was supposed to negate thirst, not amplify it to this extreme. Travel crew, did anyone else feel that sudden, crushing dryness? All right, crew. Welcome back to another impossible ingredient hunt. We are deep in the crimson sands today, where the air shimmers with a heat that feels ancient. The sky above burns a metallic orange, and the wind whips grit into my face. Intel suggests our primary ingredient, the sun-dried petals of the desert rose, are found only in these deepest, most searing wadis. I spot them now, a cluster of shimmering, almost translucent flora, petals like spun glass, pulsing with a faint inner light. As I cautiously approach, a flash of scaled hide reveals a dune serpent. Its hiss a dry whisper on the wind, confirming the warnings about this lethal biome. Corbin, without a word, positions himself between me and the creature, his raw strength a silent promise of protection. I ready my specialized tongs, the metal already hot to the touch. This purification requires absolute precision. Each petal must be plucked without bruising, without disturbing its delicate energy. I reach out, a faint, almost imperceptible chill passing through me. A ghost from our last icy portal. The scent hits me first, pure, concentrated sunlight, sharp and mineral, with a strange metallic tang. But then as my tongs close on the first petal, a sudden searing dryness explodes in my nose. My sense of smell, it's gone. Everything just smells like scorched sand. Did you feel that shift in the air, Corbin? All right, crew, look at this incredible harvest Corbin pulled in. These papery petals, tough as old leather, came from that massive, thorny bloom we found near the shimmering mirage. Corbin's brute force was the only way to get them. I'm taking a small cluster now, placing them into my antique mortar and pestle. The petals feel surprisingly resilient under the ceramic, not crumbling easily. I press down, twisting the pestle, grinding them into a fine, pale dust. A faint, mineral scent rises, sharp and almost metallic, catching in my throat. The dust clings to my dry lips, a familiar, unwelcome sensation from our last encounter. I pause, feeling a strange tightness in my jaw. Corbin, ever the iron stomach, just snatched a handful of raw petals and swallowed them whole. His eyes, usually steady, dart around the cavern with an unfamiliar, hyper-alert intensity. He doesn't even blink. The air around me feels suddenly thinner, drier, as if the dust itself is pulling moisture from the atmosphere. My tongue feels like sandpaper against the roof of my mouth. I push the pestle harder, but the petals resist, almost vibrating. This isn't just a simple grind. What do you think, team? Is this dryness just a side effect, or is it the main event? All right, crew. Today we're activating the Desert Rose Salt. To unlock its true power, we need sustained, intense heat. A heat so pure, it's rumored to be a geological anomaly. I'm checking my portable temperature gauge now. The needle is spiking. We're definitely in the right place. Look at the air ahead. It shimmers like a mirage, distorting the ancient, weathered tracks beneath our feet. The very ground radiates an unnatural warmth, almost humming with energy. I can feel it through my boots. This isn't just hot, it's alive. Suddenly, a swarm of iridescent sand wasps buzzes past the lens, drawn to this extreme thermal activity. Even water wouldn't quench this. It's like the air itself is sucking the moisture from me. This heat is doing something to my body. What do you think, team? Is this pure heat worth the risk? Or are these wasps a sign we've gone too far? All right, crew, we've hit pay dirt. This hissing geothermal vent, a raw wound in the earth, is perfect for these sun petal blossoms. The air here smells of sulfur and baked dust. Desert wanderers, shadowed by sun-scorched hoods, watch with trepidation. These petals, from the Whispering Sands portal, demand a slow roast. I'm carefully arranging each one in the portable dehydrator, just above the vent's warmth. My fingers brush their surface, feeling a faint tremor. They were ghostly white, fragile as spun sugar. Now, as heat works its magic, fiery orange bleeds through, darkening to crystalline ruby. I pause, a tremor in my hand, as transformation accelerates. They're not just drying, they're changing. A subtle, internal warmth radiates, distinct from the vent, making my skin prickle with unfamiliar energy. It feels like a low hum, a vibration against my palms, a strange, sweet scent now mixing with the sulfur. My cursed taste blindness still holds, but this new sensation, this resonance, feels like a crucial step. What do you make of this, team? Purification or something far stranger? All right, travel crew, listen up. This is it, the moment of truth for our Desert Rose Salt. I hold the tiny tasting spoon, the crystals shimmering under the twin suns that peek through the canyon's red arches. The air here always smells like ozone and ancient dust, a constant reminder of where we are. I've spent hours dehydrating these strange, petrified blooms, grinding them down to this fine pink powder. My hands, usually so steady, tremble just a little. I bring the spoon to my lips, a flicker of doubt crossing my mind. This could be it. This could break the curse. The instant the salt touches my tongue, a profound mineral dryness explodes. It's not just my mouth. It feels like every drop of moisture in my body is instantly siphoned away. My throat constricts, a sensation like liquid sand coating my esophagus. I gasp, trying to pull air, but it feels dry, brittle. My vision blurs for a second, the red canyon walls seeming to shimmer and crack around the edges. But then, a jolt, a sudden, sharp clarity. My taste buds, usually numb, scream with an overwhelming lack of taste. A pure, absolute void that somehow feels invigorating. My mind races, sharper than ever. The dryness is still there, but it's a focused dryness, a powerful, almost painful awareness of what isn't there. Did you see that? I ask, my voice a raspy whisper. Something just changed. I press the pen to my journal, the parchment feeling strangely rough against my fingertips. 24 hours since consuming the desert rose salt, and the effects deepen. My body no longer craves water, a profound stillness settling within my cells. It's not thirst's absence, but a recalibration, like my very core is shifting, slowly hardening. My skin feels unnaturally tight, almost leathery, a faint, dry mineral scent clinging to it, a ghost of the salt itself. I run a hand over my forearm, feeling the unfamiliar texture, a slight drag against my chef's sleeve. This new skin feels less like flesh, more like cured hide. My tongue, though not dry, carries a perpetual coating of fine mineral dust. I try to clear it, a small, almost imperceptible hesitation in my movement as my jaw feels a touch stiffer. The air here, usually so parched, now seems to resonate with my own internal dryness, a subtle, almost metallic tang in the breeze that I can now taste. I glance at Corbin, who ate the raw petals. He moves with a new, deliberate stiffness, his joints perhaps less fluid, his steps more measured. He reaches for his canteen, then pauses, a flicker of confusion crossing his face before he lowers it, a faint, dry sigh escaping him. Yet, he endures the desert's relentless sun with remarkable ease, a silent testament to the salt's power. His resilience is undeniable, a strange, hardened grace. I watch him lift a heavy pack, his muscles working with an almost stony efficiency. This internal calcification is progressing, making us both more resilient, but at what cost to our flexibility? I tap my pen against the page, the sound sharp in the quiet, a small tremor running through my hand. All right, crew, Abe here, live from this endless red dustscape under twin suns. My last purification ritual banished thirst, a profound relief. But now, something new has emerged. I feel a deep, resonant hunger for specific minerals, a consequence I failed to anticipate. It's not a normal hunger, more like an echo in my bones. My multi-tool hums softly as I scrape the desert rose salt from these ancient, jagged rock formations that look like giant teeth reaching for the sky. I need to purify these trace elements for our next recipe, but this new craving is distracting me. As I work, I notice the desert rose salt itself seems to be actively absorbing ambient moisture from the air around me. Tiny, almost invisible condensation rings form and vanish around my personal space, almost like a shimmering halo. It's subtle, but I feel a distinct pull, a dryness that wasn't there before. The air feels thinner, heavier, even though I'm not thirsty anymore. The desert around me, already hostile, feels even more draining, as if my very presence is now altering its microclimate, drawing something vital away. This isn't just a side effect, it's a new challenge. I can feel my body aching for something I can't name, a deep, mineral thirst that's completely different from water. My fingers tingle with the need to find it. What do you think this mineral hunger means for the next dish? Travel crew, this isn't just about not needing water anymore. My reflection in the floating lens shows eyes that are too sharp, too dry, almost like polished stone. The desert wind whips around me, carrying fine, abrasive sand that stings my exposed skin, making me flinch slightly. My internal organs feel like they are slowly calcifying, becoming efficient, yes, but also strangely brittle, a constant, low thrum beneath my ribs. I reach for the remaining desert rose salt. It's sent a sharp, mineral tang mixed with something ancient and dry, like sun-baked earth after a long drought. I hesitate, a flicker of doubt about this new, desperate instinct. This isn't for thirst, not anymore. I scoop a small amount onto my palm, feeling the coarse, crystalline grains against my skin. The sandstorm intensifies, grains pelting my face with increasing force. A relentless assault. I press the salt onto my forearms, then my neck, rubbing it in with firm, deliberate strokes, almost kneading it into my pores. A strange warmth spreads, then a rapid hardening. My skin feels taut, almost stony, forming a temporary, impenetrable barrier against the whipping grains. The gritty sand bounces off, no longer biting, no longer stinging. This adaptation is desperate, I know, a raw reaction to the anomaly, but it works. My skin now carries a faint, earthy aroma, like wet clay drying in the sun, and feels undeniably different. What do you see happening to my skin, travel crew? All right, crew, that searing jolt just hit me like my very essence reforged. The desert rice salt granted more than just freedom from thirst. It left its mark, literally. See these fine, crystalline lines radiating from my eyes like dried earth? They feel permanent. The Last Outpost's energy fades around me now. The air growing thin and parched, a whisper of what was. But my gaze is already fixed on that new portal, shimmering in the distance. A dark promise. I step closer, my newly calcified senses acutely aware of every drop of moisture in the air. It's like I can taste the dryness, a gritty film on my tongue. I reach for this strange, calcified seed pod that just appeared near the portal's edge. It looks ancient, like petrified wood, feels impossibly dry, almost brittle. Even before I touch it, a faint, dusty aroma rises from it, smelling of forgotten deserts and time itself. My fingers brush its surface, and a strange, almost painful tingle runs up my arm. It's like my skin. It wants to absorb every last drop of moisture from it, leaving my own hand feeling like sandpaper. I can smell the absolute absence of water, a deep, ancient scent that makes my throat ache. The crystalline lines on my face tighten, a subtle warning, a pull. Every drop of moisture in the air around me feels amplified, almost painful, like tiny needles. This new sensitivity, it's overwhelming. So crew, what do you think this extreme dryness means for our next recipe?